Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today, the XRP price has gone absolutely berserk. I literally woke up with the XRP price at 50 cents. And then when I took a look at what the price did overnight, the price literally went to 56 cents. That is another increase of roughly 15% from the price which I went to sleep at. That is absolutely wild. Now, I am giving you guys a fair warning, and that is that, well, in about, I'm going to say 9, 10, 11 hours from now, it's going to look on the coin market cap as if XRP's price is doing really bad. You then again have to look at this weekly number though. Right now, XRP is still the best performer in the entire week in terms of price. On 24 hours, right now it's doing amazing, but in a couple of hours, and this is very important to understand, the price is going to look as if it's had a crazy negative reaction, right? It's because we've had such a crazy peak. So right around that time as well, it'll most likely look as if things are doing very bad. So around, 24 hours from this specific peak, everything is going to look really, really bad for XRP. But notice again where we came from roughly 2 days ago. It's a crazy increase or so within this time period. Now, there's actually one guy we know and love as well, Michael. To be honest, not really sure why we don't follow each other on Twitter, but who gives a crap? He said, well, XRP has been breaking out heavily, which again, it has. The thing is, if Bitcoin consolidates and goes back to 20,000 plus, it's probably time for more of those altcoins to have big breakouts. Position yourself well and don't count fully on the $12,000 to $14,000 thesis. So a lot of people, of course, are looking at his words and saying, you know what? He said don't count on bearish action, so bearish action is going to happen. Let me just say this. XRP as of this point is decoupling. I personally think that there's a good chance the XP price is going to kind of fall back a little bit, and we have to be careful with that. Obviously, as of this point, the Bitcoin price is kind of, let's see here, kind of pumping over the last couple of minutes. Let's see the hours. Yeah, last couple of hours it's been doing good as well. But generally speaking, it's been moving in a negative direction. If we actually, for fun's sake, take a look at the hourly on the XRP to BTC chart, it's been an interesting one. Because again, if we compare to where it was roughly a couple days ago, here's about last week, it has gone up roughly 80%. And my portfolio is up such a drastic amount, it is wild. Right now, it is still up roughly 50 something percent or so, even though it is down, let's check it out, about 13% or so versus Bitcoin. That's because right now the XP price is not doing so good over the last couple of hours, but over the last week, it's done absolutely wild and absolutely amazing. So it's just a little time frame issue, time frame thing. Let me add that if you're wondering why XRP is doing so good, you can see it in what I just showed you with Michael van de Poppe as well. People have started to kind of change their mind and they're thinking that a settlement is coming. We did a poll yesterday, and the majority of people that we questioned thought that a breakout was because there's some sort of hidden settlement in the background, or because Ripple has actually basically won this, and the people have now started to confirm it on their own basically. Before we move on, there's two things I want to quickly say as well. First of all, what in the world is happening to the dollar? It's been so ridiculously strong all of a sudden. It is crazy to watch this one move. The dollar has gone to a level that I never thought we'd witness, I guess. I can't say it like that, but it's going absolutely freaking wild in the last year and a half. It is mesmerizing to see the increase from 90 over in May of last year to 112 right now. It is absolutely wild. And many people keep asking me, man, so what exactly is smart to hold? Well, from this perspective, it looks like the dollar is the right choice, huh? But every couple of days, there's something which I'm buying. Usually it's at least once a week or so that I'm buying something new. Now, a couple of friends of mine over in Dubai, I think Ken Mack and Da Vinci might even also be, are very much interested in Acquirefi. And I honestly recommend you guys to go ahead and check it out. So what they write themselves is Acquirefi is where investing and Web3 intersect, creating a new wealth building paradigm for all. So if you wanted to know, I know a couple of these guys from earlier projects. For example, YieldApp, I think I met up with Jan as well in one of the events over in Dubai, but Ken Mack also living in Dubai. To basically just summarize, these guys are pretty good at what they do. He was also the head of marketing at Paxful. But basically, you can read for yourself here what Acquirefi does. And right now, you're able to buy into this sale. And very often, as we said, guys, to become really wealthy in crypto, it is worth it to look into every single sale that you can. I'm not saying go for a spray and pray method like I've done in the past. I mean, in the bull market, that was obviously the best way to go about it. I'm not saying do that, but I am saying it might be wise to go out of your comfort zone to invest in these up and coming projects, because the ROI potential / risk to reward is usually very good. And even though not all of them will succeed, very often we had a couple of successes that, for example, go 300x, 75x, 200x, 80x. And that means that you get 8 times the money that you put in on day one, potentially, on day one. Sometimes, right? You might get a lot more, sometimes you get a little bit less, but you guys get the idea. It's just very often, let's say if I tried 100 times, if only 10% of them succeed, but they're 100x's, well, you've still made a ton of freaking money. And that's usually how we go about this, but again, not for everybody's style, but I'm just buying this without even reading it. You could. When I say, let me say a couple of things. 1, not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. These are my thoughts. 2, is I like to go and just invest into anything that my friends tell me, but you might have different friends. Maybe you guys are not doing their research well. My people, usually it's a couple of nice circles that I know if I invest, usually it'll do well. So just once more, check it out, read into it. And very often with a lot of these projects which I share, they have a very high probability to do well. It's worth it to look all of them up that I'm sharing with you guys. Now, Acquirefi is introducing fractionalized ownership of crowdfunded investment through NFTs. They're basically making it easier through a different method to acquire things, I guess, hence the name, huh? DeFi investors can fund traditional acquisitions in our investment pools using crypto, remaining on-chain within the Acquirefi ecosystem. And as it said right here, investment pools and crowdfunding plus asset digitalization allows for fractionalized investing and precise distribution of benefits to all investors from $100 to $100 million using NFTs. You can also for yourself check out the roadmap, for example, the tokenomics is all over on the website. I have a lot of stuff planned. And it's launching on the True P&L platform. They also have their own token, by the way, which you can use to get more of the allocation, which, by the way, is starting in 15 hours from me recording this video. Obviously, you can see they have a lot of different sales, and it's a pretty well-known launchpad as of this point. You can check here out a couple of different sales or launches that they've had over on the platform. I think they have like 50,000 users or so, and you can see here the average return per investment. And that's what I'm saying, like on average, it's smart to buy these things. But yeah, honestly, a lot of strong partners that they got, very small initial market cap, has good potential, guys, has good potential. Just to let you guys know as well, launch, or actually the whitelist is closing in a couple of different hours as well. I might even be too late. Ooh. Oh no, that's tomorrow. We're good. So join it right now, or at least check it out for yourself. And just so you guys understand, very often there's a method to get some sort of lottery or so if you're joining these launch pads. If you want to invest a lot more, you sometimes need to get the token from the launch pad. I'm not going to say you should. I'm just saying go ahead and check it out. The link will be down below. Sorry for wasting too much of you guys' time with talking about these investments, but honestly, I've noticed before, people watch my videos for XRP news, for example, very often because they want to become wealthy. They want to make a lot of freaking money. And I keep thinking about it. It's like, okay, well, you can stay with only XRP. It's completely fine. You can only hold one crypto. It's completely fine. But what if you could just find yourself a couple of different projects which are, let's just say good, have some good potential. You can kind of just buy them and see. In my opinion, it's just worth it, man. And I think it's because I've joined so ridiculously many sales. I have this experience now where I know what it is like to be a, a crazy angel investor, that I can also confidently say it is very much worth it to just try stuff out. On the opposite hand, well, it kind of depends on all the conditions of the sales and what type of projects you're investing in. I'd personally say it like this: it is very much worth it to get as much experience as possible, investing in as many different things as possible, because ultimately, well, what you want is to get as much cash flow from these new projects so you can funnel it potentially back into your main investment. Or, and this is something which I'm not necessarily recommend, use some sort of leftover money to potentially make more money with, to kind of just build up your buffer that you have on the side. Meaning you're not going to use, for example, XRP that you already own to buy this investment to then tunnel back to XRP. It's like you only use USDT that you had on the side. You try, let's say you have a $1,000 pool, you have a $1,000 pool which you're going to attempt investment with. You try like $100 here, $100 there, $100 there, $100 there. And well, if it doesn't work out, you lost all your $1,000. You either save up again from anew, but most likely it will not happen that way. But let's say your $1,000 now has $1,400, you can now allocate it to 14 different investments, and from that 14 different investments, you kind of go on and on and on. And that's how eventually it's pretty easy to scale. And I think honestly that this is one of the easier ways to actually become extremely wealthy. And extremely wealthy, I'd say, $100 million plus or so. I honestly think this is one of the easiest ways to get to that level, but just increasing the size of your investments piece by piece. And I guess you can kind of start small and just work your way up. But yeah, I've actually shared, I think, a couple of launches this week already. There's a couple more small ones coming, and a lot of these things are from friends of mine, so I have some insights as to what they're planning to do. That does not mean that the launch is going to be awesome every single time, but if you stick with XRP, there's almost a guaranteed result. And I'm going to tell you, XRP is pretty damn freaking good. But on the opposite end, let's say XRP really does well this year, it's going to be a 30xer. It's awesome. But with a lot of the projects that I had a 30x in a couple of days, whereas with XRP, we're waiting for the settlement, and then it's going to be a 30x nearly guaranteed over, a couple of months, unless we get a sort of settlement like today or so. I'm just saying it's worth it to check these things out. If a settlement happens today or tomorrow, which again could, honestly, it could happen. At any day, it could happen. I can almost not imagine the consequences for the XRP price, man. Honestly, what do we really expect realistically? I'm thinking it's going to be at least go back to all-time high, at least within a couple of minutes. But then again, I'm also thinking I already have it priced in that they're going to win, so I already have my pockets full. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people still, and this is the fun part about buy the rumor, sell the news. A lot of people are not convinced that Ripple will win, and so they'll only buy XRP again if they do end up winning. A lot of people then again have changed over their mind, and they're saying, again, if Bitcoin does not go back to these lower levels at 17,000 or so, we're actually going to continue on with a very bullish momentum for a lot of altcoins as well. It looks as if XRP is bringing the entire altcoin market cap upwards. Right now, I'm buying a little bit of Bitcoin, I'm buying a little bit of other coins, because my XRP pockets are so ridiculously filled. I looked at my portfolio earlier today. It is absolutely wild to see the amount of money that's gotten in there. Specifically, if you look at the amount versus Bitcoin, it's just gone up drastically. And that is also one thing I want to teach you guys. Make sure that sometimes you cash out smaller portions. Now, for me, cashing out means, to be honest with you, buying some more Bitcoin. But for a lot of people, that means going back to dollars or buying yourself a home or this or that or this or that. I just personally think it is very smart to sometimes get something that is not necessarily going to always stay the same in value, but has some sort of value that you can kind of prove for it. For example, with a watch, even though that watch might go down in value yet again, it's a sort of different asset that to some degree will hold some sort of value. In the same sense that buying some gold, for example, might be smart. In the same sense that holding some dollars might be smart. In the same sense that buying a couple of this, a couple of that, potentially a home or two might be smart things to do. Then again, it depends on how much money you're able to cash out, if you guys know what I mean. Let's just for reference say you have a $1 million crypto portfolio. You'll look and all of a sudden it's worth $1.9 million a couple weeks later. Pick a number, pick something. It might indeed be wise at that point to cash out, let's say, $100,000. I know it's a lot. It is nearly 5% of your entire portfolio. But it could be that it goes back down to $1 million. Could, of course, be that it goes up to $6 million, $7 million, $10 million, whatever. But at least you then have $100,000 of guaranteed sort of money in different things. Where if it goes back to $1 million, if it goes down to even less than that, at least you have $100,000 that you have. You can confirm that, period. And the reason I'm saying that as well is because right now, XRP and Bitcoin, I always say it like this. We're going to places where the value of these coins might actually be in purchasing power, period. The amount of dollars is going to be kind of difficult. Then again, in a main economy, you need to be able to price something in something. Gold. It stood on its own before where you measure things in gold. If it's the reserve asset right now, it's dollars. That might change though because the median, again, like we said, was like 85 or 95 years. So it has to change at some point. Right now though, it's still not changed. Can it be Bitcoin? Can it be XRP? It could be anything. But whatever that new currency is going to be is going to change a lot to the game. And it's also going to change the amount of crypto I'm comfortable holding on its own. I'm all in crypto, but there's a little caveat to that. That means that I don't personally think buying stocks, for example, is a wiser thing. I have some money on the side left, for example, a little bit in Tether or a little bit in USDC, and I personally don't think it's stupid to buy a watch or two. To, for example, buy a home is not the craziest of ideas, unless it's a very big percentage of the money that you have. But you know what? That was good enough for now. We're going to see either a settlement or a conclusion in the Ripple SEC lawsuit within a couple of different months. We're honestly expecting at least all-time high. I'm personally expecting $10, $12 or so because I don't think it's been priced in too much that they're going to win. There's too much skepticism. Once those prices go up, it's very important that you cash out at least something, in my own opinion. Even if you expect $10,000 per XRP, a lot of that stuff will only happen if the reserve currency changes and a couple of other pieces of the puzzle get put into place. So it's important to cash something out. In my own opinion, it's also important to go for a couple of different investments if you have the opportunity to. One that I'm sharing right now is Acquirefi. I'm personally saying, check it out. and potentially place something into it, even though it's not my financial advice. It's just my personal opinion that it's a smart idea. I'm investing into it myself. I think it's smart, but I'll be investing in a lot more things as well. So if this is not your cup of tea, or you're in a country where it's not allowed, it is what it is, guys. Can't help you on that one, but I personally think it is very smart, so I'm recommending it to you to check out. That was it for today's little crypto update, mostly regarding XRP and a little bit about mindset. See you guys later in another one, and things can go down for certain, yeah, but I'll just be buying more, so it doesn't really matter too much.